In the game Minecraft, people have attempted to create the biggest and the best things that they can possibly imagine. And over time, we've seen how as the game has gotten older and older, that there's been more impressive projects that have been built in the game, simply blowing our minds away every single time, thinking that no one could possibly do it better or bigger than this. It seems that when Minecraft's community expands into more millions of people, the larger and the more lucrative the projects are becoming in the game itself. But Earth, on the other hand, is a little bit different of a story. This is a giant rock that's in the middle of space. It seems pretty simple. Not much to it. But you see, there's a lot of stuff on here. There's quite a bit of things that are on this little surface right here, and yes, unfortunately flat earthers are triggered. But let's just throw away our arguments on the shape of this thing for a little bit while we discuss the actual practicalities of whether or not we can actually recreate this humongous world that we live in this virtual pixelated game. Because believe it or not, it's actually a bit more complicated than you might think. So on March 21st, 2020, a YouTube user by the name of PippenFTS released a video with a simple title of The Earth in Minecraft 1:1 Scale for the first time. Now this video was obviously a little bit attractive to the people who came across it, as it received over 9.5 million views in total within only a month of it being uploaded. The idea was simple, but yet unimaginably ambitious. Take Minecraft and just one simple Minecraft world and quite literally just recreate everything on Earth in it. Every single building, every single city and street and mountain and tree and house and bus stop. Even going as far as to most likely recreate the very room you're sitting in right now to watch this video. All recreated and rebuilt to 100% accuracy in 1:1 scale, with no errors and no room for mistakes at all. And we technically know that it could be done. If you were to actually pump the numbers, you would find out that one Minecraft world has enough capacity to store not just one planet Earth, but over 7.5 of them. That's right, literally millions upon millions of square meters, also known as blocks in the game, long, but only a measly 64 wide in every single place. Minecraft really isn't that thick if you think about it. In fact, this is just a little bit of a waste of time fact, but I just found that it was interesting that if you were to actually put it to scale, one Minecraft world would just be about 1/10 the thickness of a piece of paper. Seems legit. Now this idea in and of itself was founded on the new revelation of a brand new Minecraft mod, which has the technology to basically, for the first time, recreate the Earth without all the buildings, structures, and human-contacted things by generating land in the game in a certain way, to match all of the elevations, and sea levels, and oceans, and lakes, and deserts, and all the different areas. Up to recently, you wouldn't think it would be possible because the larger the Minecraft world is that the person has explored, the heavier it will be in the megabytes and gigabytes. But thanks to the big brain energy that went into creating this mod, we know that we can now do this just by generating the world. So you don't actually have to have gone anywhere in it yet for it to actually already be the whole world recreated. But then comes the obvious second problem: making everything on the world in the way it currently is right now. Every single city and building and anything anyone has ever made in the history of everything. Now you can just call me a salty hater, but when I first thought about this, I instantly wanted to just reject everything about it. So I carried on with my merry day, just thinking that it was an enjoyable video to watch and an enjoyable idea, and just never thought of anything else after that of it. But then I saw it again in my recommended section with almost 10 million more views than I saw it the first time, so something about that seemed to stand out a little bit more. This video drew in a community of almost 200,000 people who have at this point dedicated themselves to being a part of the project and making a Minecraft 1:1 real-world scale Earth. Obviously, the maker of this video probably didn't expect it to blow up to this much of an extent. However, there's definitely no doubt in my mind that because it did, there's a great reason to look into whether or not we can actually do this. So let's get right into it. So first, in order to calculate how hard it might be to make everything on Earth recreated in Minecraft exactly the way we see it today, we need to know how much stuff is on here. It doesn't seem like much, as I said in the beginning of the video. It just seems like a nice blue ball of just nothing. But if we zoom in, that seems to change. We're going to start by simply using the numbers that we know of in terms of cities, the amount of buildings, how big the buildings are, the average amount of room in each city and on each street, and overall the amount of time that will be involved in this project if we are able to do it correctly. Now, to put it bluntly, there are so many cities, towns, villages, and other things in the world that there is not one solid number to actually put on it. And we're just going to only focus on the 4,416 cities that are in the world that have over a 150k population, because nothing else other than that seems to be important on this earth. So let's say that the average population in every single one of these 4,000 cities is just about 300,000 people. And let's just say for an average city, one building can hold about 6 people. If we're going to be averaging both houses and giant skyscrapers, 220 million total custom buildings so far that we would have to make just in the large city areas of this earth. And by the way, I feel like I should point out the fact that this is indeed possible to do because there were some mods that were put in the mod that made the mod a better mod.
Oh, and by the way,
Mod, basically allowing it so that the world will generate with all the areas of the cities planned out already without the buildings yet. So we won't have to worry about landscaping and all that stuff. So let's say that the average building takes up about 10,000 blocks to make, because that seems like a fair estimate if we're going to be going on a 1-to-1 scale. So this comes down to about 2.2 billion blocks needed to create just the buildings in all of the cities alone on Earth. Now, there are 200,000 people in this Discord server, which...
man, I'm lacking.
And even though I'm 100% certain that there's no way that every single person in this Discord server is going to be consistently working on this project, chances are only a fraction of them will actually take it seriously, but we'll just give the benefit of the doubt and say that every single person will. So let's even out that 2 billion out of the 200,000 people, and there's a lot of 2's in this equation here, and we come down to about 11 million blocks that each and every single person needs to place just to make every single building in every single city, and that seems like quite a feat. Now, I'm not going to say that this project will not expand in terms of its community size, so let's just be even more generous and say that in the future, over 1 million people will be involved in building this. So now we come down to 2.2 million blocks per person. Now, don't ask me to be any nicer, because there's just quite literally no way that it's going to ever be better than this. So for each person to place 2,200,000 blocks in the game, well, let's just put it simply. Have you ever actually tried to get 1 million clicks in Cookie Clicker? I mean, do you have any idea how much dedication that takes? We're talking literally months and months of work. And that's just mindless clicking without thinking about anything. Okay, but before we jump to conclusions here, let's just see how long it would actually take to do this. Now, a very, very fast and pristine Minecraft builder that has years of experience can probably average about 3,000 blocks placed per hour, and still make whatever they're building look decent. But once again, all these people are not going to be mad lad complete legends when it comes to Minecraft building. So for the average Minecraft, we'll just say that 1,500 blocks being placed constantly while building something in the game is an average estimate. So in order for every person to meet their criteria of 2.2 million blocks, they would need to actually keep building non-stop for almost 1,500 straight hours, which is about 61 total days of non-stop building, not including going to sleep for about 8 to 10 hours every single day, because that's kind of a thing. Or we could just disable the day to night cycle in the real world to make it easier, but you know, I don't think that's actually possible. So if all 1 million people do this consistently, wake up and do nothing but build in this Minecraft project for 12 hours every single day, it will still take 122 days for every single person to complete, on top of the time that you would need to reserve for planning your architecture and actually knowing what you're doing and taking times to eat lunch, dinner, breakfast, kill the ender dragon, etc. We'll just have to say that chances are every single person doing this will have to dedicate half of an entire year to just doing nothing but building in Minecraft all day long. And then if you were to do all that, you would just have the cities and the buildings done. This is not including the 5 billion estimated all other buildings that are not in cities that are spread around the world, the 25 million boats, 1.5 billion cars, 380 million individual streets and roads, 500 billion square feet of paved roads in cities, 1,400,000,000 square feet of underground facilities, 150,000 planes, 40,000 airports, 5,000 space launch centers, 200,000 military bases, the 800 million stop signs, which I feel like are the most important detail, and all of the architecture and design and labor and work and layout of every single one of them in every single accurate place with every single accurate measurement. Now, listen, I'm not making this video just to say that something is impossible. Because by all means, I do think that this project, despite everything I just said, is possible, not in the way that it's been originally proposed. I personally have worked on world record size Minecraft projects that have taken over 500 individual advanced Minecraft workers to make, and those were just in the size of small, realistic sized cities. But this project would be on a scale that would make this be on only a 10,000th of a fraction of what that is. Logistically speaking, even with the help of every single Minecraft player that's ever made an account ever, it would still take decades to do anything like this, even to some slight accuracy. I mean, if you think about it, it already took every single one of the 100 billion people that have ever lived thousands of years to do it all the way up till now, so that's quite a bit of work. So is it actually possible? No. Even though there will be absolutely no way that we'll be able to recreate every single detail on Earth, if we focus on only a certain specific and arguably most important factor and creations of Earth itself, and only build in those specific regions, then we can actually, theoretically, make a big dent in this progress, along with all of the other largest cities in the United States, and possibly all other countries on different continents as well, in a reasonable time, considering that all 200,000 people stay with this project for multiple years, however that is. If we were to only make the buildings absolutely with no interior and no detail except for the outside appearance, this would also make that way more possible as well. But that's the thing, if we instantly try to aim for the hardest possible target right off the bat, it's just never gonna work out, and we're just gonna end up being frustrated. Proposing this kind of an idea is similar to a person who wants to get into playing basketball, and instead of just getting straight in started with some training practice and some very low to the ground and up close hoops, attempting to slam dunk the ball into a 10-foot hoop on your first try in a professional NBA stadium while LeBron James and every single professional NBA player is on the court trying to stop you at the same time and thinking that you're actually going to succeed in that. If we start out with smaller goals and work on from there, perhaps we'll be able to motivate a future generation of gamers in the future to want to hopefully make it into something bigger. This whole thing reminded me of the Area 51 meme, and being that so many people can get behind a certain topic all at once just because it's so alluring and interesting, but yet the turnout will overall be kind of disappointing because the actual idea is just completely unreasonable and silly. So all in all, I'm not trying to bash the person who made this idea or the idea itself. It definitely is intuitive, but I'm sure all of us have probably had that idea pass through our mind once in a while who have been interested in Minecraft but never gave it any serious attention because of just how insane the proposition was, which is probably why this video and the concept behind it went so viral to begin with. So that's basically it for the video, and that's all I want to say, and I feel like it could be possible in the future, but only if we redesign the whole idea and the process of actually doing it. So thanks for watching, and if you want to participate in this project, I say have it all to you, and 100% good luck for you in the future, and I myself am excited to see it in the future as well. So I'll see you guys all in the next one. Goodbye.